Good afternoon, how are you? Welcome to Monday and a new week here on the Simon Conway Show on News Radio. Herman Cain back in the studio. Welcome, Herman.
Simon, I'm happy to be here. You've got to have the coolest introductory music for candidates on the planet.
Absolutely.
I loved it.
You cannot beat a bit of Freddie Mercury, can you?
Nope, you can't.
Absolutely
Thanks
not.
for having me back.
My pleasure. Let's get straight to it because
Yes.
you have a grand opening today. I'm going to let you talk all about that at some point, but not right this second. You were in Las Vegas over the weekend. Some
Yes.
people might have thought that was a strange place for you to be, considering they don't have a primary for some considerable time.
Well, they had a very large conference there called the Conservative Leadership Conference, where I happened to be one of the keynote speakers. And prior to me speaking, they did a straw poll, and I came out on top over Romney, over Rick Perry, and all of the other candidates.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you. We're very proud of that. That means that this message of common sense solutions is resonating with people.
Okay, and one of the things you were talking about was tax, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And in fact, last time you were in here, that's pretty much where we left off. That was about the last thing we were talking about. We were talking about the fair tax.
We were talking about the fair tax.
And I'm going to let you explain your position, and then the follow-up question I didn't get a chance to ask then, which was on me, not you, I will ask.
You mean you've been waiting to set
me
up all of this time?
I'm not setting you up. I have a question. You want to be president, right?
Absolutely.
I have questions.
All right, that's good. First of all, let me just say that my economic vision has two phases. And I have written about this for the last 3 weeks in my weekly commentary that people can find at my website, hermancain.com. Phase one is to lower the top corporate and personal income tax rate to a maximum of 25%, suspend taxes on repatriated profits, take the capital gains tax rate to zero, and then make them permanent. That's all part of phase one. Phase two, totally replace the tax code, the current tax code, with the fair tax, which is a national consumption tax. It's also referred to as a retail sales tax.
Okay, and an abolition of the 16th Amendment?
The 16th Amendment does go away, yes, as part of that whole process. And also, we abolished the Internal Revenue Service. You abolish having to fill out income tax returns, and you abolish the $430 billion cost that we collectively pay just to comply with all of the tax rules.
Have they audited you since you called for their abolition?
They audited me back in the 90s after I challenged Bill Clinton on Hillary care. But they'll be back after me again.
It's funny how that works, isn't it?
I'm counting on it. I'm counting on it. But you know what, Simon? I'm not afraid to do what's right.
Absolutely.
Even if there may be some repercussions that are politically motivated.
Now, I did ask, the follow-up question was going to be, what's plan B? But you've actually not altered, but tweaked your policy because it was all fair tax. Now, now plan B is in fact plan A.
But plan B is phase two is the fair tax. Phase one, we need to boost this economy right away, which is why I believe we need to take those actions immediately within the first 90 days of my tenure as President of the United States of America. I happen to believe that I can get that done for the following reason. The American people. It's going to be very simple to understand. It's going to be the first piece of legislation that I'm going to ask for. This economy badly needs it because the business sector is the engine that drives this economy. This administration has done nothing to put fuel in the engine. Everything has gone into the caboose. So those are the reasons why this economy is barely growing at an anemic rate.
Okay, well, we're talking about the economy. I've got somebody on the line that wants to ask you about the economy. Melody in Panora, you are on the Simon Conway Show with Herman Cain.
Hi there.
Hello,
Thank
Melody.
You for taking my call.
Yes.
Hi. I know that the U.S. dollar has been pretty much devalued in its own self. It hasn't yet on the market everywhere else. I know that China's pulled out 97% of their funding of the U.S. government. What are you going to do to stop the downfall of the United States by the Treasury going bankrupt?
Two things. You have to do a two-pronged approach. First, you have to make sure that you pass those measures that I talked about to truly boost the economy such that the revenues coming into the treasury will be going up. The second thing that you do is you get serious about reducing the national debt. I plan to spend within our means. One of the reasons the value of the dollar is being devalued so fast is because of two things. all of the spending that's taken place, and with the Federal Reserve trying to basically prop up the dollar with buying Treasury notes and our debt. And so if we have to get serious about bringing down the debt, and my approach is going to be an across-the-board cut of all federal agencies when I first take office, and then I'm going to do a deep dive in all of the agencies until we restructure programs. We can't just continue to cut programs. We must restructure programs, and the value of the dollar will stabilize.
Let me ask you. Hopefully, Melody got her answer. I kept her on hold the whole time you were talking, so she heard every word you said. Hopefully, we're going to see some kind of cut before they'll agree to raise the debt ceiling. But isn't this all just garbage anyway? I mean, they're talking about at the top end $4 trillion over 10 years. Is that just so insignificant? I mean, that's $400 billion a year. That's what it amounts to.
It should be more like $6 trillion over 10 years.
Really? I'd favor $1 trillion a year personally.
Yes, yeah. I mean, and it should be a lot higher than 4 because, see, the thing is, we don't have as big a revenue problem in Washington, D.C. At least we won't with the Herman Cain presidency. We do have a spending problem, and that's a big part of the problem. So in addition to those cuts that I talked about, I want to restructure Social Security, restructure Medicare to give more responsibility and accountability to the states, take it out of Washington, D.C.
The more we get out of Washington, D.C., the better off we are, in my opinion.
Women's golf. Say this fast 6 times. So Yi Ru. She wins the U.S. Women's Golf Championship. You got my man here. You got Herman here today, huh?
I've got Herman Cain here. I've got your former producer, Andrew Downs.
I know you stole him from me. You stole him.
Hey, I already bought him lunch. Did you ever buy him lunch?
I got him Godfather's Pizza.
No, you never bought the
That's what I got him.
Great game. Say goodbye, Jim.
Do I have to?
Yeah.
I want to talk with...
Say goodbye, Jim.
I talk with...
No.
Goodbye, Jim.
For 2 big days, Friday and Saturday.